Joe Biden making his pitch for the South Carolina primary in last night's big debate as he and the rest of the field prepare for Super Tuesday, 3 days later. Marc, the former speechwriter for President George W. Bush American Enterprise Institute Fellow and a Fox News contributor. Marc, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sandra.
Have you seen the New York Post this morning? Here's the cover. Party bashers. Rivals tear each other and Democratic Party apart in nasty debate. What'd you think about what you saw last night, Marc?
Yeah, you know, going into the break, you asked whether it moved the needle. I think what it did is move a lot of people to change the channel. Oh. It was unwatchable. I mean, people yelling at each other, talking over each other, flailing their arms, screaming, yelling. I mean, it was a hot mess. But that's the Democratic primary is a hot mess. The Democrats are right now on track to nominate a socialist who honeymooned in the Soviet Union and embraced socialist regimes in Cuba and Venezuela and held them up as examples for America. That's where the party is headed. And the lesser animals of the forest, as much as they clawed at him and snarled at him and tried to take it, couldn't bring him down. Until they can, then the Democratic Party is in a world of hurt.
Pete Buttigieg took on Bernie Sanders last night. There was a back and forth where Sanders was actually challenged on the cost of some of his proposals. Here's that moment.
I am not looking forward to a scenario where it comes down to Donald Trump with his nostalgia for the social order of the 1950s and Bernie Sanders with the nostalgia for the revolutionary politics of the 1960s.
Do we think health care for all, Pete, is some kind of radical communist idea? Do we think raising the minimum wage to a living wage? The truth is, Pete, that the American people support my agenda. That is why I am beating Trump in virtually every poll.
Holy moly. Hands flailing, people talking over each other. That was another moment, Marc.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Pete Buttigieg made the mistake of trying to speak over Comrade Sanders when he was commanding the audience. So I mean, that was his first mistake. But look, I mean, I think the Democratic candidate. I think Pete Buttigieg said he has $50 trillion in spending plans. That's actually about wrong by about half. Brian Riedel at the Manhattan Institute calculated the cost of Sanders' spending plans. It's $97.5 trillion. Let me say that again. That's not a typo. $97.5 trillion. To put that in perspective, the total household wealth of every single American in 2018 was $98 trillion. That's the value of all the homes and cars, college funds, pension plans, retirement funds that we have. All our assets is $98 trillion. He wants to spend $97.5. If Bernie Sanders is elected, 70% of GDP will be spent by government at all levels, and half of all Americans will be working for the government. That is just the idea that that we would nominate someone with those kinds of plans and that person has a realistic chance of becoming president of the United States is terrifying.
It did not stop him from touting those proposals last night. There was also some light-hearted moments on the stage last night. For example, this moment where the candidates were asked to share their biggest misconceptions.
I'm defined by business success and money.
The biggest misconception is that I'm boring.
I have more hair than I think I do.
Misconception, and you're hearing it here tonight, is that the ideas I'm talking about are radical. They're not.
I don't eat very much. In fact, I eat all the time.
Not passionate. I get that I'm kind of level. Some say unflappable. I don't think you want a president who's flappable. But it's precisely because I'm so passionate.
That I'm 6 feet tall.
Biggest misconception is that I had more time. Sorry, Marc, we got to leave it there. Thank you for joining us.
No worries.
See you soon.
Take care.
All right, new action on